Sometimes the story we tell ourselves begin long before anyone has actually told us anything. A message doesn't arrive when we expected. Someone walks past without saying hello. A meeting ends more quickly than usual. Nothing has been explained. Yet our minds quietly begin writing the rest of the story. It begins so naturally that we often don't notice we're doing it. Think about how many times you've read a short text message and wonder what was behind it. A full stop that seemed unusually sharp, a reply that was shorter than normal, a conversation that ended with speak later. For one person, it's just another busy day. For another, it becomes the beginning of 100 unanswered questions. The words haven't changed, the meaning we've given them has. This isn't because we're negative people, it's because human beings dislike empty spaces. When information is missing, the mind has an incredible ability to complete the picture. Sometimes it gets it right, other times it doesn't. The difficulty is that that picture can feel so convincing that we forget it was partly created by us. I've noticed this in ordinary places as much as anywhere else. You're driving and another car pulls out without acknowledging you. Someone doesn't hold the door open for you when you're walking into or out of a building. A colleague walks past without smiling. There could be countless explanations. They might be distracted, running late, thinking about something difficult at home. Or they simply might not have seen us. Yet the first explanation our minds reach often says as much about us as it does about them. Sofka saw a few weeks ago Hanlon's razor, and it says, never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by stupidity. I like that one because sometimes people aren't being malicious, they're just acting in stupid ways. This reminds me of something that I've seen quite a few times in the therapy room. You'll have two people that will describe the exact same conversation, but if you listen to them separately, you'd almost think they're talking about different events. Because one person remembers criticism and the other is remembering concern. Neither of them was lying, they'd simply experienced the same moment through two different emotional lenses. And that was one of the moments that reminded me that understanding another person often begins with accepting that their experience can be genuinely different from our own. One thing I've become increasingly aware of is how rarely we have the whole picture. Every person we meet is carrying conversations we haven't heard, responsibilities that we know nothing about, news that they've not yet shared, worries that they've not yet spoken aloud. The version of someone we meet today is only the part that's visible. The rest of their story remains quietly out of sight. That doesn't mean we ignore our instincts. Sometimes our first impressions are very important. Sometimes they protect us, yeah? The point isn't to dismiss them, it's to hold them lightly until we know more. There's quite a difference between noticing something and deciding we've already understood it. Imagine how many disagreements begin, not because people intended to hurt one another, but because two people filled in different gaps with different stories. One assumed silence meant anger, the other assumed silence meant giving space. One believed a cancelled plan meant rejection, the other believed it would be understood. Neither person was trying to create distance, yet distance appeared anyway. I sometimes wonder how many relationships became gentler when people replaced certainty with curiosity. Not because curiosity guarantees the right answer, because it leaves room for one. There's something quietly powerful about saying a phrase, yeah, just a little sentence, something like, I don't know what's happening here yet. Something that you could use. And those 7 words can stop an entire story from being written too soon. Next time you notice your mind rushing to complete the picture, pause, even for a moment. Not to stop thinking, simply to leave one page unwritten. Sometimes life answers the question on its own. And when it does, we're often reminded that the truth was more ordinary and far kinder than the story we first imagined. I'll leave that with you until our next conversation.